What's going on, everyone? I'm J.U. Kalkrick, former running back at Michigan State University. After college, I was blessed with the opportunity to play 5 years in the NFL for the New York Jets, San Francisco 49ers, and my hometown team, the Buffalo Bills. Now I'm a proud member of Team Xenith. With the Live Your Game spotlight, we turn the cameras on deserving coaches and players around the country to show us how they live their game. On this edition of the Xenith Live Your Game Spotlight, we turn the focus not on just a team, but an entire organization, the WFA, the Women's Football Alliance. Today, we're joined by League Commissioner Lisa King, as well as Director of Operations, Wen Damen. Ladies, I just want to start by saying thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Can you just start by telling us what is the WFA?
Sure. The WFA is a full contact women's tackle football league. We've been in existence for 12 years. We're going on our 12th season this year. We have about 60 teams across the nation playing full contact, NCAA rules, women's tackle football. Excellent.
I'm going to sneak a quick little anecdote. My first experience with the WFA was back in 2012. I was going, some buddies of mine, we went to Pittsburgh for my birthday weekend, and we pull up to the hotel and these buses are coming and these ladies are coming off. We're like, what's going on here? And it was the championship game that was being played at Heinz Field. It was the San Diego Surge versus the Chicago Force. It was absolutely awesome. It was right around the tail end of my playing career. So I had an opportunity in the lobby to talk to a lot of the ladies. That's where I met and befriended Jen Walters. She was, there. A lot of the players from the Surge. We ended up going to the game in Heinz Field. And at the time, I believe that was the first women's championship game that's ever played in an NFL stadium, correct?
Absolutely. It definitely was the first. And thanks to Franco Harris and a lot of hard work, we enjoyed an amazing game. That game, do you remember the game, how it came down to pretty much the last play? It was a spectacular game. It was a perfect setting and a perfect ending.
Yeah, I definitely remember the game. San Diego ended up winning 40-36. And like you said, it came right down to the end. Luckily for me, I made more friends with the San Diego side. So at the hotel, we got to celebrate with them. There's pictures of me with the WFA championship trophy, me and my buddies. It was absolutely a blast. And that was my first run-in with the WFA. And it was definitely an eye-opening experience, for me. And I was just glad that I was able to be there and witness it firsthand.
Well, you saw a good one of our best.
This past season was canceled due to the COVID pandemic, but you guys are back at it. You kicked back up. The season started in May, correct?
Yep,
that's correct.
We're going to be starting first.
Wen, can you tell us what we can look forward to this season?
Hard-hitting football, a great product on the field. We're gonna make people very happy. Those that are missing, NFL football, are gonna join in and watch the WFA and. We're ready to play football. We're ready to put a great product on the field for our fans and for the public.
Excellent. Lisa and Wen, not only are you two the commissioner and the director of operations for the league, but you guys are also players on your teams. And respectively, Lisa, you're on the Cali War team, and Wen, you're part of the Mile High Blaze team, correct?
Lisa does play for Cali War. I do not play. I own the Blaze. But I don't play. I wish I could.
Yeah, you can get in there once in a while just for a special play.
If I didn't have 5 bulging discs, I'd be on the field. That's for sure. But I want to keep walking, so I'll stay on the owner side.
Perfect. I just want to get in perspective from the both of you ladies. What does this league mean to women playing the game of football? That's such a male-dominated sport. What does it mean for women playing it?
Well, I can personally attest as a player how much it means. I mean, I grew up without being able to play football, and that was my first love. It was really the only thing I used to watch on TV was football. I played with all the boys. I was, told by my parents that, if you just try soccer first, and if you don't like soccer, you can go ahead and play football. And so I did it. I tried soccer. I was like, yeah, it's a good sport, but I still want to play football. And, I'm not a very tall person or a big person. And so my parents, gave me the news that you're not going to play football. It's just not going to happen. So that was devastating. I went on to play soccer. I still love soccer. I played in college, but I've always loved football. And it's just so bizarre to me that America's sport is not played by everybody in America. There's no opportunity for half the population to play America's sport. So when I was able to be introduced to football, it just was life-changing. And I wasn't able to start until my 30s. But I know how much it meant to me. I'm still playing and probably shouldn't be anymore, but I just love it. It's not just a sport. I mean, it becomes your life. The players become your family. You would do anything for each other. It's just so much more to it than just a game for a lot of these women. And I know just the players that I play with, just how much it means to them. And just having that season, not playing, just how devastating it was for them. There's really just no replacement for the sport you love and a team atmosphere and teamwork. So it's huge that we're at a place where players are starting earlier and earlier. Now they can get right out of high school and play, and they can get, by the time they're in, my age, they're just phenomenal players. So it's a passion. I love it. And I'm excited to see the excitement around it for these players. I'm glad that it was here for me. And I hope that we can continue to pass it along to the other players coming up.
It's huge. I'll tell you, my daughter is 6 years old, and I credit the WFA with getting to watch my daughter stand on a football sideline in her cheerleading uniform, and she's cheering for the boys that are playing. And my daughter during the game throws her pom-poms onto the field and says, well, this is dumb. I want to play football. I can play football, and she references the teams. She's around football. That's all she does is she eats, sleeps, drinks, and breathes football because that's what we do. And it's cool to see a 6-year-old girl say, I'm going to play football because I can. And I feel like the WFA has afforded that opportunity to little girls all over the world and given them a vision to be able to grow up and play football if that's what they want to do.
Right. And you guys kind of hit on a little bit of the next question I was going to reach out to you ladies for. The game has evolved over the past years. Now we're starting to see more and more young ladies playing, flag football. We're starting to see college teams starting to have women's flag programs, a part of that team. And this past fall, we saw the first female kicker to score in NCAA Power 5 in Sarah Fuller at Vanderbilt. I would say this is part of this, partly due to the success that the WFA is having. Would you ladies agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it goes hand in hand. The players that have been playing in the WFA are now starting to coach in the NFL. And I don't think the NFL would just take people that have zero experience with football and try to make them interns or coaches. So the experience that they've gained by being in the WFA, I think has been a huge factor in having all these coaches being able to coach in the NFL and then obviously the more exposure as well that's nationally recognized. Well,
and you can take that a step further. If you look at the DC Divas player who, Lisa, correct me if I'm wrong, signed on with a D3 school as a position player. I mean, where else would she have been seen by college scouts or coaches, if she wasn't playing in the WFA on a high profile team like the DC Divas? So I think that it's plays a big part.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I have seen highlights of this young lady playing. I believe she plays in the defensive secondary, and she can come up and lay some hits. So it's really exciting to see. This past Super Bowl was a marquee moment for so many reasons. And this past Super Bowl was the first time, you can talk about a home team playing in their home stadium. But I think more importantly, a big spotlight was shined on the fact that it was the first woman to ever officiate a Super Bowl, in Sarah Thomas. And there were on both sides of on both sidelines, there were women coaches that were representing NFL teams. And I, once again say it's the platform that the WFA is creating for these players, for these young ladies to propel and, find their dreams being come to fruition by coaching in the National Football League. So with all those things, what are some of the challenges that you see the WFA is facing?
I think, our biggest challenge is not having football at the youth level and being able to recruit players and develop them. It takes some time to learn the game. And so not having youth tackle football and tackle football for women in high school, I think that's one of the biggest challenges, because the players that come out to try out, I think there's a little bit of nervousness because they're going to go to a tryout and they're like, well, I've never even played this game. I don't know anything about it. And we may lose an incredible amount of athletes that may not join a team just because they've never played football before and they're scared to try. And so I think that's one of our challenges for sure, is making sure that we are able to recruit the highest level athletes to play. And there is a little bit of that fear factor coming in.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Is there anything that you wanted to add on to that, Wynn?
Well, I absolutely agree with Lisa. That's crucial for us. I think a challenge for us is to be seen and heard. And that's happening more and more right now. Of course, with the success of, Coach Lo Locus and Jennifer King and Callie and Katie and everyone, it's definitely brought attention, onto our league, good attention. But we need to keep that momentum going, and we need to keep getting our name and our product out there. I'm a firm believer that if people just give it a chance and come to a game and watch these girls play football, they're going to be hooked, just like the NFL or just like your favorite college team. You go to a college game and it's like, whoa, I can't wait to go back. And I think we have that opportunity to give that to our fans. It's just, we need to be seen and heard more. And we're working very hard on making that happen.
Yeah, I totally agree. Being put on a stage and given the opportunity to have fans judge for themselves, let them see it and judge. I totally agree. That's how, the game's going to get propelled to the next level. For young women that's coming up, you guys spoke about this a little bit. What advice would you have for these young women that have the passion about playing football, but might not have the accessibility to play in a tackle league? How do people get involved with this?
I think that, it's widely acceptable, across the U.S. at this point for young girls to play with the boys on co-ed teams. I can speak for here in Denver. I know that it's the norm, right now to have little girls join. And I think it's important that parents allow their girls to participate if that's what they want to do. We pride ourselves on safety, using safe equipment, stuff like that. So it's important that parents are educated. We do that type of education as well. But girls need to start at a younger age. It's really difficult coming in, like Lisa said, she started at 30-ish, and coming in and having to learn everything that boys learn at 5 and 6 years old. We're at a 25-year jump there. So I think starting girls, young with peewee, football, I think it's crucial. And then getting them involved, maybe with a team in their local area that they can be mentored. We do that here in Denver, where we have girls that are interested in playing, that might be playing in middle school or in high school, and they will come to our practices and they learn and they watch, and their parents come with them and they participate in question and answers and different types of exercises and stuff that they can do. So we're really trying to reach them from a young age and then mentor them up through to sign them possibly at some point when they graduate high school, but we've got to reach them from the beginning and take care of them all the way through.
No, I think Wynn hit it on the head, and I think now we're starting to see a huge push with the flag football for girls, and so that's going to be huge for us as well, because it's going to, maybe it's not tackle, but they're going to still learn the language. They're going to still be able to know the basics of football. It's not going to be completely foreign to them for the game for when they do move into the tackle football. So this huge push that is going on nationally with the flag for girls and for high school, I know they're trying to work on getting in high school and in college, is really going to be a big thing for us as well.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So we touched on a little bit earlier that the season's, starting back up in May. And how many regular season games do you guys play, and where is the championship game this year?
Okay, yeah. So each team is going to have about 6 games, and then we're going to go into playoffs, 2 playoff games leading into the national championship, which is going to be at Canton at the Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. So we're going to have all 4 games, the All-American game, and 3 national championship games, Division 1, Division 2, and Division 3, all at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. So it is going to be, remember that Heinz Field experience you had?
Yeah.
But we're gonna do a times 2 with that. So it's going to be exactly like the Heinz Field experience, but now we're going to have 3 national championships and an All-American game at an NFL stadium. So we are so excited to have that facility available to us, and we're working very closely with that group and the Hall of Fame Village, and it's going to be an amazing weekend. Not just games, it's going to be an amazing weekend. We're going to be giving a lot of awards to some amazing women that we've already talked about, some of the great coaches that are coaching out there. And we're going to top it off with a huge concert at the end. It's going to be a weekend to remember, I can tell you that.
Wow, that does sound really amazing and really, well-deserved. I think it's a great platform, and I wouldn't think of a better place for, the championship game to be held than, Canton, Ohio. Well-deserved, and I'm really excited, for that and to, get more information on that. Well, now that I've hit you both with the hard-hitting questions, I like this, the portion where we just lighten things up a little bit and just ask some softball questions to both of you. We'll just start off with, who was your favorite college team, NFL team, and your favorite player growing up?
Favorite college team?
Yes.
University of Texas, hook 'em all day long. Favorite NFL team after the Houston Oilers defunct, Denver Broncos. And my favorite NFL player of all time, the one and only, the number 1 linebacker ever to play the game of football, number 56, Lawrence Taylor.
LT.
Yes.
Well, I have 2 favorite college teams. I was originally a huge Pitt Panther fan, thanks to Dan Marino. And I just dated myself. And but since moving to California, I've also grown to love the Fresno State Bulldogs. So they're kind of my home team now. So I like following them, and the Carr family has been amazing. My favorite NFL team is the Miami Dolphins. And that, again, was my Dan Marino love. And I think that you probably already know who my favorite NFL player is.
Perfect.
Dan Marino.
Great.
He's
great.
the man.
Dan the man. All great choices. You can't go wrong with those teams and those players. All right, next question. Lisa, it's game day. You're in the zone. You guys warm up. You're back in the locker room. You throw your headphones on. What's on the pregame playlist?
Oh, I don't do that. I'm not a music pump up person. I mostly try to get into the zone with a lot of quietness and concentration and focus, and really kind of get myself more mentally relaxed than physically hyped up. I'm already hyped up for the game. I kind of have to calm myself down a little bit. So I'm more of a quiet, focus, what do I need to do type of person.
Right. When I know you don't play, but you know, being the owner of a team, you definitely have competitive nature. Before a game, do you have a pregame playlist that you listen to?
Oh yeah. I listen to some pretty old school, you know, Eazy-E, you know, a lot of stuff like that. And then right before, you know, our girls come out, the Purge music comes on, you know, in the stadium, and, you know, the masks come on and the chains go around their necks and they're on the ground, you know, just clawing at the concrete, ready to go. That's when everything inside of me is just tingling. I'm Jones, ready to go.
That's awesome. We did look at the Blaze webpage, and we saw at the beginning there the picture with the masks and everything. It's really cool. I think that's, you know, a great element to the game of football. You know, just that psychological side of the game of football that a lot of people don't understand or don't see. Last question. You know, this might be something that you guys have or you don't. Is there a pregame superstition that you have to do, a pregame ritual?
Well, Lisa thinks, I'll tell you, I have the same pair of socks, and they are football socks. There's footballs all over them, and I have to have those socks with me. Even if I don't have them on, they have to be on my person, in a pocket. They have to be somewhere. If I don't have those socks, it's over with. I can't even function. So my socks.
Perfect.
I can't say I have a ritual either. I'm sorry, I'm boring. My mind's, you know, in a million different directions, and half of me is usually just making sure the ref is there, and you know, the players show up on time, and that's kind of making sure everybody's ready to go. And I think, unfortunately, the last person I kind of think about getting ready is myself. I just want to make sure the team's ready first. And so, no, I'm sorry, I'm boring with that.
No, it's not boring at all. Well, ladies, we want to thank you for taking the time to, you know, spend with us. The big news you dropped on us. We're really excited that the WFA is getting that platform to play at Canton and have their championship games there for well-deserved ladies playing this game that we all love. At Xenith, you know, Lisa, you hit it on the head. You have a lot of different things to worry about before games and during the week of practice. When it's the same thing for you as being a team owner. We at Xenith, we just hope we make everything easier for you on the equipment side of it, and we put you guys in the best position to be successful. And we take the time and we thank you for joining us on the Xenith Live Your Game Spotlight.
We are so honored to be here, and man, thank you, Xenith, for your support of women's football. I mean, that's where it's at. Y'all are stepping up, and we are so appreciative, from the players, the water boys and girls, to, you know, Lisa, the commissioner. It's just amazing, your support. Thank you.
Yeah, Xenith has been huge for us, and we couldn't be prouder to be a partner with you guys. And you guys really have come through and put the women's tackle football on the forefront. And that priority that you guys have shown is huge for us. It's huge for the women. It means so much to know that we have support out there from companies like you, and we do really, really appreciate Xenith.
Perfect. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.